Yeah, don't need to do it so much anymore, but still gonna do it. Today I want to do a movie review. This is a movie I ran across recently, which fits all the requirements for things I like to review. There's not a lot of notice about it. It almost slipped underneath the radar, and I haven't seen a lot of talk about it. And I think it's such a great movie, it needs to have more exposure. And that movie is Adieu, Lacan. This is very recent, from 2022, by a director I was unaware of, Richard Leeds, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors. I need to track down more work by him because I absolutely love this film. Yeah, starting off by telling you that I love it, but what are you going to do? Anyways, in case you don't know, Jacques Lacan, very famous psychiatrist, operated, his prime was probably 50s to the 70s. Here's the thing. Lacan is one of those figures that attracts people that just love to nitpick the minutiae of everything. They're nearly as boring to talk to as people that are into Sun. I love Stephen O'Malley, but try having a conversation with a Sun fan, oh my god. Or grad students blogging about object-oriented ontology. I mean, it's just the type of people that you're going to attract. And what I think Richard Leeds does perfectly here is he humanizes, demystifies, and shows Lacan is an actual practitioner versus almost the showman that he was in his public appearances, or the man who created nearly impenetrable writings. I mean, if you think Hegel will twist your mind into a pretzel, just hold on to your horses, because Lacan, he's got a special little thing for you. But onto the film itself. This is one of those films where it's two people talking to each other throughout the entire film in black and white. So if that's not your cup of tea, just skip right on past it. However, I love these type of films. And I love them because so much relies upon the performances of the actors themselves. And in this case, we have two wonderful actors in this film. Whoever casted this, if it was Richard Leeds himself, I'm not sure, deserves an award simply for the casting. In the role of Lacan, we have David Patrick Kelly. You may recognize him from Twin Peaks or VFW, another recent film that I really enjoyed. That's more of a horror comedy, which is a lot of fun. And then, in an amazing role, is Esminia. I'm obligatory, boring apologies up front. I'm going to butcher a lot of pronunciations through this, so just know that going on. Esminia Mendez, I really hope I got this right, because she plays the woman being analyzed and Seriama, and she is wonderful in this film. The camera loves this woman. It is insane. And as I said, this takes place, the movie itself is based off a Brazilian psychotherapist, Betty Milan, and her real life story of traveling to Paris and being psychoanalyzed by Lacan. She later turned this into a book. I think it's called Lacan's Parrot, or it's also referred to, I've seen, as The Parrot and the Doctor. I don't even know if this has been translated into English. I was unable to find any information on the book aside from Betty's website, which I will link down below in the description. Anyways, this film starts off, Seriama is traveling to Paris, ostensibly to try to become Lacan's acolyte to bring his work to Brazil. But then she decides she should undergo psychoanalysis herself. What prompts this, and as usual, I'm not going to give away too much. This is right in the trailer. She's had 2 miscarriages, and her husband has left her. And so she's looking for insight as to what this may have caused. Now, the film uses black and white, as I said previously. It also uses a 4:3 aspect ratio. So that also calls to mind the past. this is a very time-aware film, I believe would be the proper way to put it. The passage of time here, we're dealing with analysis sessions that last 2 to 3 years, I think from 76 to 78. Could be wrong on that one. And the wonderful thing that I found out about this film is that due to the fact it's only 2 actors for the majority of the film and 1 location, Letty's was able to shoot sequentially in chronological order the scenes as they went. Normally you have to shoot, like, as if you have multiple scenes at a bar, you shoot them all at once and then edit it later. He chose to work sequentially, and I've seen in interviews where he talks about 2 of his favorite directors who I also adore, Michelangelo Antonioni. I always think there's too many vowels when I say Antonioni. I don't know. Watch Lacan. That's an amazing film. And then Robert Altman. I mean, who doesn't love Robert Altman? I'm sure there's people out there probably not going to get drinks with you. But this ability that he took to shoot sequentially, he used to amazing effect. And the performances he got of the actors, as I said. I also saw in another interview where he talks about both he and David Patrick Kelly had traveled, separately, this is in the past, to Paris to study mime, and you can absolutely see that in David Patrick Kelly's performances. So much of this film requires silence on the part of the analyst, and David Patrick Kelly is able to convey volumes with his expressions, as is Mina with her hand motions and her gestures. And as an actor, she had to be so courageous doing this, not only because, of course, everything relies upon them and their interplay with one another, but there's so many close-ups on this woman's face, and to be that vulnerable and pull it off, and especially, as I said, with that 4:3 aspect ratio, it fills the screen. Her face fills the screen, which is not a hardship. As I said, the camera loves this woman, and the black and white just makes it perfect. In interviews, I've seen Ledes talk about how he and the cinematographer, Valentina Canaglia, hope I got that right, watched Carl Dreyer's The Passion of the Joan of Arc. Amazing film, you should definitely check that out, and how that shaped it. And that was part of the fun of this film. I watched it, then there's more than a few really good interviews and question and answer sessions with the director, and I'll link those at the end of the video and of course down below so you can check those out. You should go to his website, once again linked in the description. Sign up for his email, because this is an independent filmmaker in every sense of the word. He just goes and gets it done. It's so good. And who else is going to do a film like that? You know what I mean? Let's see. What else did I want to hit on here? There's some very, without giving spoilers, there's some very beautiful, subtle references. The more into Lacan you are, the more you're going to love this film. Because I've seen a review that complained that, they didn't convey all the wonders of Lacan that they wanted to see portrayed on screen. And I think what they were looking for were those technical words, like mirror stage. And, mirror stage film studies have screwed up the idea of mirror stage so bad. I'm not even going to get into that. Just, I'll link to the Why Theory podcast. Go look up the appropriate episodes, because those are 2 professors who they dig deep into this whole misunderstanding of the mirror stage in film criticism. It's actually kind of wonderful to watch them throw shade. But it seems weird to criticize this film for not including, because these are technical terms that, why would you say that to a patient who's undergoing analysis? You wouldn't. If you're in a technical position, you can't explain a concept to a layman in layman's terms. You're just obfuscating the issue. I've seen this over and over again, especially like IT, with geeks resorting to just crazy ass stuff that they don't even understand themselves. So if you really enjoy Lacan, you're gonna see all of these things that make Lacan so interesting in the movie itself. Like, you notice that Lacan is reading Sophocles, and of course that's Seminar 7. And you also see the Borromean knot is used amazingly well. And very quickly, Lacan later grew fascinated with the topology of knots, and the Borromean knot, it's actually a chain. I'll put a thing up. He used this to illustrate his concept of what makes up the human psyche. There's the imaginary, the symbolic, and the real, and the way that they're fastened together. If you sever one of those, the other two are free to go. And this is portrayed so wonderfully without ever saying it. That is the perfect way to do it. So I don't understand that criticism at all. But I'm a stupid amateur and bear limited intelligence. So always remember that. So as you've seen, I think, running the trailer down below so you can see it. Obviously, what some would consider an art film, very limited audience appeal, but I think that's what's beautiful about it. We live in an era when we can find these. I mean, I rented it off Amazon Prime. The only problem with that is I was only able to see it twice before that, because they have it it's available for so long, but you only have 48 hours then. So I saw it, watched a bunch of interviews, watched it again, and loved it even more the second time that I viewed it. And so, yeah, definitely seek this out. Support him. Go to Richard Liddy's website, get on his email, and I will link to all his interviews so that you can see for yourself, because I could babble on forever about this. I mean, it's so good. The use of language within this film and why it's there. And, there's that idea of film as a foreign language. And Freud somewhere said that all human interactions are a question of translation. And this film shows it brilliantly. I love this film so much. I know it's obvious and I'm gushing, but I really want people to see this. And I want to support this kind of cinema and film work because it's all too rare. Seeing true independence always makes me happy, and everybody involved deserves the highest praise. So, yeah, hopefully you go and give it a shot, because holy shit, does it deserve it. Anyways, love you guys. Kathleen is in Vegas for a trade show, so the next kelp bed will be after Saturday, because, the whole hooking up the scanner thing. So, yeah, I'm not actually trying to just hold it off. You know me and my excuses. Anyways, love you guys so much. Thanks for putting up with my babbling, and definitely check this film out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.